What's up guys, it's DarkArmedDuelist and today doing a Melffy deck profile. So I'm really excited to do this one for you guys because this deck is the most adorable deck ever created. And it's super fun to be able to play, especially with all the spicy tech cards I've included in this build for you guys. So without further ado, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell there so you can become part of the notification squad, and definitely check out the Patreon down in the description below for all those awesome rewards. Like getting your name description in a single video, getting assigned cards in the mail, and even getting to request a deck profile every single month to your patron. So without further ado, let's get straight on into this. So first off, we're going to be playing 3 copies of Puppy. Puppy's definitely a 3-of build, and all of our Melffy monsters except our copy of Penny, the tuner monster for the deck, actually share a common ability that during your end phase you can special summon this card from your hand. And if your opponent normal or special summons a monster except during the damage step, or if your opponent's monster targets this card for an attack, you return them back to the hand and then you get a super cool unique ability. In your case of Puppy, this card actually lets you special summon a level 2 or lower beast monster from your deck except another copy of this card, which is a really awesome effect to instantly summon out a copy of Kalantosa to your side of the field so you can pop a card on the field. This card is definitely a 3-of in the deck. We then play 3 copies of Caddy. Caddy's definitely a 3-of in the build because this card is just super cool and has the ability to actually search cards, because when it returns back to your hand by its effect, you can actually add a beast monster from your deck to your hand and have some really spicy cards this card can actually search. We then play 3 copies of Wally. Wally's really cool as a 3-of because this card is probably one of the most powerful Melffy monsters in the entire deck, because when this card is returned back to your hand, you can special summon 2 Melffy monsters from your deck with different names from each other except your copies of Wally, which is an insane ability that you can actually replace this card with 2 other monsters, which is so cool. We then play a single copy of Finny. Finny's great as a 1-of in the build, but you only need a single copy of this card. It has the ability that when this card returns back to your hand, you can special summon 1 beast monster from your hand to your side of the field. We then play a single copy of Pony. Pony's really good as a 1-of, but again, you really only need a single copy of this card, just like your copy of your Finny, because this card actually recovers cards from your graveyard, because when it returns back to your hand, you can add a level 2 or lower beast monster from your graveyard back to your hand. We then play 2 copies of Penny. Penny's great as a 2-of in the build, and this card is super unique, and I absolutely love this card because it has the ability, if a face-up beast monster you control was returned back to your hand this turn, except a copy of Penny, quick effect, you can actually special summon this card from your hand, then immediately this effect resolves, you synchro summon 1 synchro monster using this card that you control and Melffy monsters in your hand, which is an insane ability that you can basically return your Melffy monsters back to your hand, get their effects to go off, then summon out this card to your side of the field and go in for a synchro play, which is so cool. Also, during your end phase, if this card's in the graveyard, you can actually target a Beast XZ monster you control and attach this card to that monster as a material, which is a really cool effect. We then play 3 copies of Rescue Cat. Rescue Cat is the best normal summon in the entire build because you can send this face-up card to the graveyard to special summon 2 level 3 or lower beast type monsters from your deck, which is a really cool effect just to instantly get the exact 2 cards you want on the field. We then play 2 copies of Kalantosa. This is the card you always summon off the effect of Puppy, because if this card is special summoned the effect of a beast monster, you can target a card on the field and destroy that target. We then play 2 copies of Valfawn. Valfawn is really cool as a 2-of in the build because this card is actually an Earth tuner monster, which helps us go in for a copy of Naturia Beast. This card has the ability you can discard a card and then actually target a level 2 or lower beast monster in your graveyard except a copy of Valfawn and special summon an attack position or face down defense position, which is an awesome effect. We then play a single copy of Mind Mole. Mind Mole is our level 3 that we summon alongside our copy of Valfawn to help us step into a copy of Naturia Beast, which is an amazing effect, and then this card is used as a synchro material for a beast monster. We get to draw a card. We then play 2 copies of Hop-Eared Squadron. This card is definitely a 2-of in the build. I absolutely love this card because it helps us go in for so many cool different synchro plays, because during your opponent's main phase, quick effect, you can target a face-up monster that you control, special summon this card in your hand, and if you do, you immediately synchro summon, which is such a cool ability to help us go in for a bunch of really cool synchro plays, especially with our other really awesome surprise tech card that I'm actually going to lay face down, and we're going to play Guess That Card. This is an awesome 2-of in the build that helps us go in for a bunch of cool synchro plays, and I'm actually going to reveal this card in 3, 2, 1, and don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, guys, and definitely hit that bell there so you can become part of the notification squad, because we're almost at 100K subscribers. So definitely subscribe, because every subscriber counts. Let's go ahead and check out this card, and it's actually going to be 2 copies of a White Steed of the Floral Knight. So we're playing this card at 2 in the deck, and it's really cool in this build because it is a level 6 that can actually special summon itself to your side of the field if you control a level 2 or lower monster, which is an awesome ability just to instantly get this card out on your side of the field and use cards like Hop-Eared Squadron to go into for your copy of Excel Synchro Stardust Dragon, which is awesome because then we can step into cards like Satellite Warrior or our copies of Baron de Fleur, which is actually what this card was originally intended to step into, which is super cool. We then play a single copy of Alpha, the Master of Beasts, because it is searchable in the deck, which is really nice because it is a beast monster, but this card is definitely a 1-of in the build. It sells bounce cards off the field, and it's a really good boss monster to summon to your side of the field, but you only need a single copy because it is searchable. We then play 3 copies of Ash Blossom. Ash Blossom's definitely a 3-of, just to stop your opponent from touching the deck. It's a really good card, and it's an awesome hand trap. So that's it for the monsters, guys. Let's get into the spells. So for the spells, we're going to start off with a single copy of Called by the Grave. Called by the Grave is definitely a 1-of in the build, just to stop your opponent from hand trapping you while you're going in for all of your plays. We then play a single copy of Monster Reborn. Monster Reborn is definitely a 1-of, just to bring our Melffy monsters back in the graveyard, or any of our cards that we really need. We then play a single copy of Melffy Tag. Melffy Tag is definitely a 1-of as well, because this card is like a Monster Reborn. It lets you target a Melffy monster in your graveyard and special summon it, which is an awesome ability. We then play 2 copies of one of my favorite cards in the entire game, just for the artwork, and that's going to be 2 copies of Staring Contest. Staring Contest is a hilarious card. I love this card's artwork. It's so adorable. It has the ability that you can actually reveal a beast monster in your hand to add a Melffy monster with a different name from your deck or graveyard to your hand, and then place the revealed monster on the bottom of the deck. And you can only use the effect of this card once per turn, and at the start of your opponent's battle phase, you can actually reveal any number of Melffy monsters in your hand and keep them revealed during this battle phase only, and monsters your opponent control lose attack equal to the combined attack and defense of the monsters revealed by this effect, which is an insane ability because it's like your Melffy monsters are staring at your opponent from your hand, which is really funny. I love that about this card, and it's actually a really good card. We then play 3 copies of Obedient Schooled. Obedient Schooled is insane in this deck as a 3-of, because this card just lets us summon 3 monsters for our side of the field for free. Is if you control no monsters, you can special summon 3 level 2 or lower beast effect monsters with different names from your deck, but their effects are negated, and also they're destroyed during the end phase. And for the rest of the turn after this card resolves, you cannot special summon monsters except beasts, which is totally fine because that's pretty much all we summon in this build. So that's it for the spells, guys. Let's get into the traps. So for the traps, we're just going to be playing 3, and that's going to be 3 copies of Infinite Impermanence. Infinite Impermanence is definitely a 3-of in the build, just to stop your opponent's monster effects and also lock down entire columns of spells and traps. It's a really good hand trap to work with our copies of Ash Blossom, and it's an awesome card in this build. So that's it for the main deck, guys. Let's get into the extra deck. So for the extra deck, guys, we're going to start off with Melffy of the Forest. This card is a definite 2-of in the build, and is such a powerful card, as it actually lets us detach from material in this card to add a Melffy card from our deck to our hand. If another face-up Melffy monster you control returns back to your hand, then you can actually target a face-up monster that your opponent controls, and it cannot attack, and its effects are negated while it's face-up on the field, which is an awesome ability for this card to have. We then play 2 copies of Joyous. Joyous is really cool as a 2-of in the deck is this card lets us detach a material from this card, and your Melffy monsters can attack directly this turn, which is going to help you make a copy of Zeus and also go in for game. I love that about this card. It's a really good 2-of in the deck, and it's just an awesome card to be able to summon out in this build. We then play a single copy of Ronin Raccoon. This card is awesome because it generates a token, and that token becomes the highest attack points on the field because it matches a monster on the field with the highest attack points and becomes that, which is awesome to be able to do because it's just a really good card in the deck. We then play a single copy of Sky Cavalry because this card also helps us make a copy of Zeus, which is just really nice to be able to do in this build because this card is really hard for your opponent to deal with. We play a single copy of Downer Magician just to give us an additional material for our copy of Zeus, which is really nice to be able to do. We play a single copy of Zeus because this card is awesome to be able to make in the deck because it's a board wipe, and it's overall just a fantastic card. So for the synchros, guys, we're going to be playing a single copy of Baron de Fleur. Baron is just really good to be able to make in this build because this card is a walking negate and can pop cards on the field. Then play a single copy of Satellite Warrior because we can actually summon this card during our opponent's turn and bring it up to 4,500, which is awesome, and it can pop 2 cards on the field. As if this card is synchro summoned, you can actually target cards your opponent controls up to the number of synchro monsters in your graveyard and destroy them. And if you do, this card gains 1,000 attack for each card destroyed, which usually you're just going to have 2 synchros in the graveyard when you summon out this card to your side of the field, which is going to be your copy of Excel Synchro Stardust Dragon and a Stardust Dragon. This card also has a really cool ability. If this synchro summon card is destroyed, you can special summon up to 3 level 8 or lower Warrior, Synchron, and or Stardust Synchro monsters with different names from your graveyard, which is an awesome effect because we can summon back our copy of Excel Synchro Stardust Dragon. This card is an awesome card in this build. As if this card is synchro summoned, you can special summon a level 2 or lower tuner monster from your graveyard, which can be cards like your Hop-Eared Squadron that you're going to use during your opponent's turn to be able to make this card and then summon out your copy of your Satellite Warrior, which is just super cool to be able to do because this card is going to help you go in for those plays by tagging itself out and then summoning out a copy of Stardust Dragon and then immediately synchro summoning using your monsters on your side of the field, including the Stardust Dragon and the copy of your copy of Hop-Eared Squadron, which is really good to instantly go in for your copy of your Satellite Warrior, or if you need a negate, you can summon out your copy of Baron de Fleur. We then play a single copy of Naturia Beast. Naturia Beast is just really good because it deals with spell cards, which is awesome. Play a single copy of Merry Melffy. Merry Melffy is awesome as a 1-of in the build. So if this card is special summoned, you can target a face-up monster on the field and return it back to the hand. And if your opponent normally special summons a monster, except during the damage step, or if an opponent's monster targets this card for an attack, you can return this card back to the extract, then special summon a Melffy XZ monster from your extract to your side of the field, which is an awesome effect. We then play a single copy of Herald of the Arclight because this card is a walking negate, which is why we play this card as a 1-of in the build. So that's it for the deck, guys. I hope you did enjoy. This deck is super fun to be able to play. If you guys have never played a Melffy deck before, you should definitely give this deck a try because it's really fun to be able to play. It's, again, one of the most adorable decks ever created. I absolutely love playing it because it's just really fun. Like, being able to bounce your monsters back to the hand and get all sorts of really cool effects, and it's just awesome to be able to play. So that's going to do for this one, guys. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell in there so you can become part of the notification squad, and we'll see you guys in the next video. See you later, guys.